Okay. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Valigara's Jewelry e-commerce webinar on the topic of boosting e-commerce sales through getting product information management right. And today we have with us Valigara's founder and CEO, Igor Nusinovich. Igor is the CEO of Valigara and an international jewelry e-commerce expert. He's a leading worldwide expert in jewelry e-commerce and online marketing. He's a jewelry e-commerce veteran that has managed more than 100 online jewelry stores with 15 years of e-commerce experience. Also is a former manager at eBay. Igor advises the Israeli Export Institute and leading jewelry brands worldwide. And hi, Igor. Nice to have
Hi,
you with us again.
glad to be here.
Great. Before we begin, maybe we'll tell our audience a bit about Valigara and what Valigara does, and then we'll jump into the exciting topic of product information management. So for those of you who don't know Valigara, Valigara empowers jewelry and diamonds businesses in the e-commerce era. Essentially, we enable leading jewelers, brands, and e-commerce companies to grow their online jewelry business with Valigara's all-in-one software solution. Valigara's online jewelry manager platform manages all aspects of successful online businesses. It lets you manage your product portfolio and optimize your online presence across your website and leading marketplaces such as Amazon, eBay, Etsy, and many others. Valigara helps you increase sales and save significant time and money. It simplifies inventory and orders management, online marketing, purchasing and fulfillment, automating the daily operations in selling jewelry and diamonds online. Valigara integrates with all major e-commerce marketing and jewelry platforms, and our deep industry knowledge and advanced technology gives you full control of your business and frees up 80% of your time to focus on creativity and growth. So thank you again for joining us for this jewelry e-commerce webinar. And today, Igor, you're going to tell us about product information management. What's it all about and why is it important?
Definitely, thank you. And I'm glad that we're speaking about this topic. Thank you for the introduction. Okay, I also very much wanted to speak about this topic because somehow behind all the technology issues that people speak, somehow this specific topic, which in my opinion is the center of the jewelry e-commerce, is being forgotten. So I want to help understand why this is critical and what actually is the product information management, why it is the foundation of the jewelry e-commerce. I believe that this is a major thing when switching from the, let's say, offline to the online business. So to make story short, I will jump into the presentation and I will explain how I see the product information management. So in many cases, we see people comparing the PI and product information management with ERP. And also the product information management systems are being confused with ERP systems. What is an ERP system? ERP system is a system that defines all the internal, not only internal, but all the workflows and the processes, enterprise processes. It can be about managing your inventory. It can be about managing your business. It can be managing about your suppliers and manpower. When we speak about the product information management, it's specifically about your information. Now, what's the difference? Basically, people think that ERP should include the product information, which definitely is not the case. So when we speak about product information, it's the next step after the ERP, after the enterprise resource planning, which is a foundation of your business. Having the ERP system, we know, okay, this item is being created in this and that way. Now it's being in this and that stage. Now it's being transported to here and there. Now the process of the fulfillment is in that and that stage. But what is missing here at this stage is basically converting the product information and the processes into this product catalog. Specifically, the product information speaks mainly about your product catalog, but not only, because your work processes are your internal, like, for example, working with supplier or working with production floor management. It's your internal processes. The product information management touches the product catalog. Now, product catalog is not only about the information, not only about the product information, but also about your offer, which is very different. Now, when we speak about, so we spoke about ERP. So what basically is the PIM, the product information management? It's the process of managing your information, your content. It's about, first of all, maintaining the existing one. Second, enriching. And then third one is distributing this information. So normally, if we speak towards the e-commerce, what it means we take our information from, let's say, our inventory or about our jewelry, and then we learn to present it correctly on the marketplaces, on any e-commerce platform we use, and we will see different applications to this. Why it's so important? Because especially we speak, of course, related to jewelry e-commerce. So why it's so important? Unlike working in an offline world, when we work online, we don't sell products. We sell products information. And this is a crucial thing, because normally when we speak to classical retail, they think, yeah, I have the best product. But this is not the issue. It's not as the person walks into your store and that this person sees the item and is ready to wear the item, is ready to try it, and then say, okay, the price is good for me, and walk out with this item. When we speak about online, we don't have this option. All we sell online is our offer, is the information. And this information is not only about the product. So the thing with this PIM system, product information management systems, and managing at all, the whole idea is that we have to make this mental switch. Our products are not the ones that sell. The product information is something that we sell. So when we think about the PIM system, the product information management, the whole concept of this is to create this one source of truth, meaning this is my company, I have this information, I have to be able to manage this information correctly, and this information has to serve me. Because when we go into the online world, we basically say that our experience, our client experience, is how he meets our products. So if I have a website, and in my website, for example, I don't have the information about well, let's say I have a diamond engagement business, okay? So jewelry business. I have my client, potential client, my buyer, walking into my website. If I don't have the information about my diamond, and let's say my diamond is certified, I'm using the GIS certified diamonds, and I just left this information outside. I just forgot to say that my diamonds are GIS certified, which automatically makes my offer more trustful and brings more value to my products. So the person, the buyer, potential buyer, will not be able to buy effectively my products because I did not create the right experience of meeting my products. Or when the person gets into the product page and sees, okay, this item is available in white gold, and let's say it's a necklace, and it has let's say it's a pendant with 18-inch chain, and I just did not mention that the same necklace is available in 16, 14, and 22. So my customer experience becomes less effective, and this influences my business. Now, what are the impacts? What's the idea of the whole product information management? This is our foundation for working with product information. So when it's more accessible, well, my product information is more accessible, I'm ready to react. To react to what? to what my buyer wants to know, to what the marketplaces expect me, or let's say Google expects me, or what the e-commerce itself expects me, or maybe what my SEO person expects me to provide to him some information about my products. So I am quick to react. Now, jewelry products, there are different approaches how we build our e-commerce. In some cases, when we speak to catalog-like businesses, let's say I'm selling 20 pairs of Adidas shoes, then it's easier. But in jewelry, what we see, because there are many variations of the products, we see huge amounts of SKU, 1,000 SKUs, 5,000 or 50,000. So the moment that our information is accessible, we can also adjust our work. We can adjust to what is needed more quickly. So unlike managing our data manually or in a less organized way, we're not able to react. Also, next thing, detailed information means we're more trustworthy. Like as I gave an example of GIA, if I land a very famous landing page, a very famous word in marketing, if I land my potential buyer in a product page or in a category page, and I don't have a detailed information about the product, I will not be able to sell it because simply it doesn't create the sufficient trust. Selling online is a lot about trust, because creating a website with systems like Valigara, for example, is a matter of a few minutes. So we can generate thousands of products and the websites in a minute. So the thing is that when we don't have this detailed information about our product, we cannot basically create this trust that I am the owner of this product. I know this product. I know that it's 2.2 gram of white gold. I know that this diamond clarity is D and VS1, and it's lab grown or natural, and it's conflict-free and Kimberly process and so on. So as much as more detailed our information is, so more trust we basically vendor to this product. Now, dynamic. The information, this product information must be dynamic, simply because because otherwise it's not scalable. So we know, for example, that the product information, general best practices, the titles, the pricings, the offering is changed on average on e-commerce 5 times a year, because it's seasonal on jewelry. So we have the Valentine's, the Christmas, Mother's Day, and then for A/B testing, 2 general offering packages of information. So if we have 5,000 products, we should be able to manipulate this information effectively. And this is why this product information management, when it becomes critical. So first, for the maintenance of the information, because we want it to be as much more detailed, we want it to be as much as more correct. The second one is the distribution. So if we want to push it into multiple places because we want the information work for us. Remember, again, it's not products, it's the information about products. We want it to work for us. So this is the distribution. We want to be able to reuse the data. And then the third one is the enrichment, of course. The big difference between the product information management, the PIM systems, and the ERP is that the ERP holds only the internal information, while the PIM systems, they enrich it, they extend it to more client-oriented or catalog-oriented information. I will now give some examples to this. So on the e-commerce, this PIM systems, they work for us on all the stages. From the procurement stages, if we want to know what happens on our suppliers and on our stock, the PIM system will be helping us to basically request the purchasing, to make the purchases with our suppliers, because it's related to our online presence, to our external channels. So we know how our external channels are updating our stock, and we will be able to manage it with our suppliers. Next, on the sales process, of course, we will create the online catalog. We will distribute it to multiple channels. We will reuse it differently for B2B and B2C. Simple example, if I work both in B2B and B2C mode, it means I will be using my information differently. I will have the supplier price, maybe large supplier price, maybe I will have a small shop price, and then the eBay price or Amazon price. So the B2B and B2C will be different. The positioning of my product will be different for B2B and B2C in different channels. I will be using it for point of sale, and very important, I will be using this through the sales process. Now, many sellers ask us if I can once just generate my data just one time and forget about it. No, it's something dynamic. It's something that continues to change all the time, because even through the sales process, we often get some requests from our buyers which require some specific additional information. For example, is this good for allergic people? Do you use the materials which are allergen-free? Yes or not? So this is additional data that might, first of all, be required for the person to buy, and also, very important, the ability to quickly provide trustful information. This is, of course, closes the deal. Now, for the marketing, where do we use the PIM? For social channels, for comparison shopping, we just reuse the data in different forms. If tomorrow we decided to open the Instagram shop and use the Facebook shopping, and then Google shopping, Google products for our marketing or remarketing, then we will be using again the product information. And this product information not only creates the sale, but also is an important part of our marketing strategy, because as we know, Google Shopping, Instagram, Facebook, all the major marketplaces today when they work with PPC, of course, works with specific products information, if it's Google PPC or if it's Amazon PPC. So now on the post-sale, but this is not where the work with product information ends. On the post-sale, first, the production. We want to use the product information to quickly generate the production sticker, for example, generate the fulfillment request, generate the invoice, generate all the let's say all the information for import or export, for taxes. Next, we also want to integrate quickly with logistics and fulfillment carriers, especially it's important with all the legislation of gold, diamonds. We do have to be very, very precise on the products that we export or import. If it's cross-border, then it becomes very crucial. And the post-sale, the whole idea of the PIM, of the product information management, is that we use the product information as we want to go deeper into understanding of our business, to analyze first our catalog, our products, and then second, also our clients. So here, if I want to know the person, my average person buying from my Amazon store, first purchases the products, the first order is $80, and then the second order is $140. So this is amazing piece of information we can use for our marketing, again, for our analysis, and to make things work. So product information management is a foundation for the e-commerce that takes us to the whole process of operation, from purchasing through data catalog, through marketing and sales, working with our clients, with our CRM, with our orders management, and then analytics, and then of course improving our offer to the clients. Now, best practices: focus on data, right data structure, and data reusage. Reusage is a critical step, because if we work on multiple channels, we want to do the work once, and then, of course, of course, utilize it as many times as possible. And then data enrichment. So the data enrichment is a very important concept. I'll now give some examples that we have the general. So what means the general product data? We have the measurements, we have the weights, we have the diamond information, the model, the product information. That's all we have. And maybe the costs. And then we have to work with this basic data to extend the data. Now, so how do we organize the, so how do we organize? So the data starts from the ERP, from our internal processes. Then it migrates to the PIM, Product Information Management. This is where the internal processes meet the external processes, which are our channels and our orders management, the clients, and then, of course, the analytics. So this is where the PIM sits. It's between our internal and external. So of course, for the internal processes, all we need is this internal SKU, and that's it. Everybody in the company knows what this SKU means. But when we go external, we need to enrich the data. So here, so what is the basic data structure? The ERP data, the stock, the physical, the dimension, the packaging information, maybe the sizes, the weights, and then the precise information, technical information about the product. Next piece of data is the commercial. And this is where the big gap between the ERP and PIM is. The channels related data. What is the title for Amazon? What is the title for eBay? What is the SEO title for my website? What title goes into my Instagram, and so on and so on. It's endless. And what goes into my printed catalog? The same about pricing. If I have pricing for my distributors and my eBay, let's say in my eBay, I include the shipping costs into my price, but on my website, I don't, because I'm not necessarily provide the free shipping. So this channels related data, I can say from my experience that in Valigara, we see people having, our sellers having for 5 different accounts, 50 and sometimes 100 different parameters of data. So naturally it comes, the source is the same, it's the information, it's the ERP data, it's the logistic data, but then it's being reused differently. And then again, the jewelry data structure is not only about the jewelry itself. It can be also about the related products or the offering that we're having here. Okay, and then a very important piece of data that we have, part of data, is the media. Now, the media is not only images, but of course the videos, and it has to be very much optimized for each one of the marketplaces. So for example, in Valigara, if you upload the image, we take the image, you can define different sizes, how it goes to your website and how it goes to Amazon or how it goes to Facebook. So this media, especially when we work about images and we know that the marketplaces and the e-commerce requires a lot of media, it's videos, it's images, and even the images, it can be images on the white background for more, let's say, catalog-oriented marketplaces like marketplaces or Google Shopping. Let's say Amazon requires your white background, while when you're selling on your website or on Etsy, you might prefer some more brand-oriented or creating the identification images, which will be different. So this is basically when we look at the structure, this will be the structure, the basic, the commercial, and then the related, but not about the product, media and related. Now, what types of information can we have? It can be the digital, the titles, the text, the prices, measurements, Boolean information, yes or no. Maybe it can be not for sale, yes or no. Because for some reason I'm having now some problems with my manufacturer of this specific product, I can define it yes or no. Yes, it's not for sale. Selection fields, as we say, as an example, it will be the titles, the keywords, because keywords for Amazon will be definitely different from keywords from search keywords for Etsy and from my website. The pricing will be different for different places, the categories, the offering, and then it creates a whole pack of digital information, meaning the text information. Next is the media. Media, as we say, images, videos, but not only. It can be also, let's say, a link to some augmented reality a system that provides me with some JavaScript, with some extension of my product or 3D model or whatever it is, maybe the commercial information that it's being held in a different place. So this will be the media. Now the media again will be channel related. The dynamics of the products, it's also not that clear sometimes. It's not some statical information. Sometimes the changes in the information are more interesting for me than the information itself. For example, we're having now the information about our product. But what interests me much more is, okay, I now lowered my eBay price by 5%. How did it influence my eBay sales? Or let's say I shortened now my my handling time from 2 weeks to 1 week. How did it influence my Amazon sales? So this dynamics of the information is not less important than the information itself, than the static information itself. And just as I gave here an example on the right side, we can see what is the distribution of my catalog. So when I look at this catalog of some specific, we can see here about 800 products. I see that I have 275 products with white gold, 206 with silver, 163 with yellow gold, which are being currently distributed, and rose gold is 94, and so on. So I can basically ask myself, does this distribution make sense to me? So the catalog distribution is not necessarily about the product itself. And as we can see here, we can measure not only the products, but also interdependence. What does it mean? The product information relates also to different types, additional types of information. Example, models. We want to analyze not only the specific products, but also the models. The gemstones, this is especially critical if we speak about diamonds or precious and semi-precious gemstones. So I want to know not only how good am I selling rings or earrings, this is about models. So does the 3-stone earrings work better for me or than the, let's say, simple solitaire earring? And maybe on the gemstone level, does amethyst work better in my jewelry than the ruby? And if I'm working with the diamonds, what clarity of the diamond works better for me? So this is where the product information becomes crucial for my analysis. And then it's not exactly the product, but separately the gemstone, because the same gemstone can be virtually distributed, or really if I'm working with amethysts and it's a repeatable gemstone, then I want to have a separate analysis on the amethysts. So it's not exactly about the products. Next, clients and orders. What happens? What is the dynamics? How do clients react to this type of product? And what type of clients work with a different type of products? So for example, when I look at the clients that purchase more than once in my store, I want to be able to connect it to my product information and to analyze, okay, I can see that the clients that purchased more than 5 times on my Amazon store started with, let's say, a bracelet, with a tennis bracelet, and I can use it again for my marketing. The same also about the orders. Now, when we speak about product information, it's around the products. It can be related products. It can be the set products. It can be the information about the most sold products. So it's also cross-product information. So it's very important to monitor not just statically at one product, looking inside one product, but look at all the information in your business and make the projections, make the analysis towards the product. Okay, now, how do we structure our information for growth? Think about multi-channel. Now, Opal on eBay will be called Blue Opal or whatever Opal on Amazon. Multi-units, we will use 7 3/4 for Etsy, and we will use 7.75 for eBay. Different measurement scales. Multiple currency, we have to be able to restructure the same data for different marketplaces. If I'm going UK and .com. Multilingual, and multilingual a huge opportunity and also huge obstacle, because going multilingual really requires a lot of work normally, and we see that here in Valigara, for example, that it's a lot of opportunity on the other side, because very few businesses, a very small portion of businesses is able to expand multilingual. So if you are able to go there, it's a huge advantage. And this is why PIM systems are like Valigara allow a lot of provide a lot of solution for translation, for example. Now, dynamic. In Valigara, we fetch metal prices every 5 minutes. They're being updated, or 10 minutes. Why? Because it's not a static information. We want to be able to be connected to relevant and automatically updated to the relevant sources of information. So I would call it consider the following. And this consider the following, the information is never static, it's dynamic. If I'm now offering let's say, information about my purchasing, about my fulfillment. So now before Christmas or before Black Friday, I want to shorten the handling time. I hire additional 3 people, and I am ready to provide not 3-day handling, but 2-day handling. Huge difference. So the information is dynamic. It's not something that you create and then forget about it. Or if I'm now creating some Etsy tags, Etsy allows us to create 13 different tags, search tags. Now, of course, before the Mother's Day, I will redo my product information, my tags and description and title to be related to Mother's Day. Next, here, if I can give one recommendation, when people gather the information about the products, think as a buyer. Well, everybody will say it. What does it mean? Think what is unique in your products. It's not only the technical information. The technical information is good for internal. For the external, we will need this uniqueness parameters. Examples: style. Is it a candelier earring or it's a stud earrings? Or candelier earring. What is the shape? Is it flower, let's say daffodil, or is it a rose, or is it architectural, something like this? Occasion and positioning. Is it a designer, or is it a modest, or is it romantic, or is it for birthday, for marriage, or for anything else? Emotional. Now, the emotional aspect of the purchase is also important, because we're not handling with maybe furniture or, I don't know, some everyday use for home and garden. Okay, we're not selling scissors for working in the garden, so we work with emotional products, which here especially the PIM system becomes very different from our ERP. We want to describe it with a specific emotion, like tiny, expressive, or unique, or simple, and so on, or romantic. So this is the emotional. Now, when we think about structuring correctly our product information, we think about the information, we organize it in a way so it will be easy to reuse. And we understand that eBay, Amazon, Etsy, our website, our distributor, and maybe also our physical store will require will require different representation. Or if I want to use my PIM system to print the tags, even simple tags for my jewelry, I might be using the information differently, the same information in a different form. So it's very important to think how you're going to reuse the same data. And here, of course, when you think technologically, the keyword here is the mapping. The same data will be used in different places using different mapping. It can be mapping to Amazon search keywords or attributes, or eBay item specifics, or Google search parameters, and so on. Product catalog. It will be used differently. So think about how you're going to use and map the data that you're organized right now to the channels that you use right now. So you can also start from the end and say, wait, I need it for my Shopify website. For my Shopify website, I need the description, I need the title, I need the SEO title, I need the collection, I need the tag, and so on and so on, and the price and the variation price. So I'm doing reverse engineering. And then through this mapping, wait, for this, I need to hold all this information separately, organized separately in my PIM, Product Information Management System. So, okay, this is about mapping. Now, the data enrichment. How do we structure things for data enrichment? So we should be able to organize it in a way so that we can duplicate from one product into another. But also we should be able to generate the data using the commercial data, maybe using our basic data. As we say, we start with the basic and then we expand to external information. So on this generation stage, this is your key to growth, to scaling. And this generation is crucial because, let's say I have now the basic information, and now it's being distributed to my Amazon and to my Magento website. And I decide to go to Mercado Libre website, or to Walmart, or to Sears or Alibaba. So in this case, I have to be able to generate the data effectively, quickly. So if I, for example, normally we don't do it through the presentation, but today I said I will give it a try. If I jump quickly to Valigara, to the Valigara system, and we have a lot of generation tool. What means this generation tool? We can take the existing information about the products. I will jump for a second into one of the data generators. And when we will look in a simple form now, what means this generation? As we can see here, in this case, I just took one title generator. I want to generate the eBay title for the Valentine's. And this means I will create, I will take my existing information about the product here, Valentine, and I will start it with the word Valentine's, and then the model type, let's say it's earrings, Valentine earrings, and then metal one purity is 14K, and then the metal title is yellow gold. And then I will take my 10,000 products, or maybe 100 products, and I will use these generators, these templates, to generate the eBay-oriented information. And next day, when I will decide to go to Shopify and generate tags for Shopify or for Etsy or for Amazon, I will reuse the information in a different form. The same information will serve me in a different form. So this is the step of data reusage, and it's crucial on the product information management. Now, and generation. Now, the data accessibility is something that it's so obvious that sometimes people forget. But when you work with your product information systems, product information management meaning very precise search, very nice sorting of images, importing, exporting, feeding, and vendoring, meaning if my distributor comes to me and say, hi, I want to get the updated information about products each 5 minutes, you should be able to provide him with this data feed. Or opposite, if your supplier says, hi, I am ready to provide you, to vendor you the data about my products when they go out of stock, because you work as a distributor, as a dropshipper. So you should be able to organize, to work with your data effectively. It should be very easy for you to access all the data that you require on your sales process, not just sales process, but the whole e-commerce process. So this is some ideas about structuring for growth, this reusage, how we build all this information around our PIM, product information. Now, very obviously, we quickly jumped into Valigara, right? The idea here is that this is the step where the technology is most crucial. So if we have a catalog with 5,000 or 20,000 products, obviously, last thing we want to do is to do it manual. So we defined the steps from the ERP through the product information management, PIM, and then through the channel, and then through the orders and clients and analytics. When you speak about technology, there is no ideal technology. Many people, when they come to Valigara, first thing, we have a very long list of non-ideal world statement. There is no ideal technology. It's an absurd or some utopic idea. But the technology should be all-inclusive. Because adopting of each piece of the technology is a huge overhead on the company. So try to minimize the amount of the systems that you use. This is why it should be all-inclusive as much as possible. Even that, developing Valigara for 10 years, we know it's impossible to include everything. But there must be some core understanding of your processes, and your system should cover this. Next, of course, it's a huge advantage when it's a jewelry-specific technology. Simple example, in Valigara, we have not only the stock of the products, but also stock of the gemstones, stock of the model, and then Valigara can quickly create all the possible variations between the models, the same amounts, let's say, and then, or even not the same amounts, the models, and with the metals, and then the gemstones. So there can be many applications of understanding the jewelry, because when we want to, for example, push the information to Amazon or to eBay, they do a tremendous work to become as specific as possible. So if we go for a second to Amazon, we will see that on Amazon there are on eBay there are 20 item specifics. Item specifics are different parameters, and we will see that for each category on eBay, including jewelry category, the parameters will be different. So if your software understands, if your technology understands this requirements from eBay, from Amazon on one side, and on the other side understands jewelry, it's a huge advantage, because then if you need to propagate into Amazon differently the center stone weight and then the total carat weight, it can be done because your technology supports this. Now, obviously, things are changing very quickly online, so your technology must be updated. So each one works differently. We roll about 5 to 15 updates every week. New features, new functionality updates according to marketplaces, so it has to be updated. And as we see, the main change that e-commerce brings is shortening the supply chains. So your technology should be providing the solutions for B2B and B2C together. Needless to say, it has to be cloud-based. I cannot imagine myself installing today some software on your computer, because you want to be able to work with the systems on the go. And of course, a very important aspect here on adopting the technology is it's not only about the technology. It's about the support, about this adoption process. And you have to make sure that you're ready to adopt, you're ready to focus on your side, and you're getting the proper escort on the technology side. Because speaking about PIM system, product information system, professional systems, business level systems, it would be very, very strange to try to adopt a system where you cannot get the insights from the most professional people, from the from the people who created the system. This is more or less, I would say, about it in very shortly.
We have some questions from the audience, if you don't mind.
Of course.
So one quick question was, who in the company should be responsible for the product information management?
I see. So, okay, the product information management, it's not something that can be that you can point on one person, because it's different types of content. So as we said, it can be some offering system. For example, what is your logistics for Amazon? What is your logistic for eBay? And what is your discounts for the next month for your website? So this will come from marketing, for example, or from your logistic department. And then, of course, some information will come from your ERP people, from the production. So it's not, so the whole company, the whole idea of the product information management is the whole that it organizes the information from the whole company. So there is no one person on one side. On the other side, of course, there will be the product information manager. We know that today, one of the most required positions is CIO, Chief Information Officer. There is even a specific term for this. There must be a person that aggregates all this information and all these uses that creates also some protocols, some agreements, internal agreements on how the data is being stored, populated, and worked on. So it's all the company on one side, and of course there must be this one person. Normally, if we speak about e-commerce, it will be e-commerce related person who takes the responsibility and creates all the work processes.
Great. Another question comes from one of our attendees who says, we're using Excel. What's bad about that? Can we do product information management over Excel, Igor?
First of all, it's great. First of all, I'm really glad to hear that this specific company has this Excel, because we still see that in many companies, there is still zero usage of any organization, of any product information management, and definitely Excel is a form of product information management, period. Now, what is the disadvantage? I think it's quite obvious. It's a closed system. It's not linked to your external and internal processes. Maybe internal, but it's not being linked to your website, to your online channels, to your point of sale, and so on and so on. So it's a standalone system, which limits its abilities to react. It's not a dynamic information. So probably like this, Excel is for static information and not for the dynamics. So you cannot track changes, you cannot see the influences, and you cannot analyze and make some predictions. So in addition, access management, I would say, all the product information management systems provide very precise access management, because not every person in your business should be available to access all the information. So if I have somebody working in my sales department, probably he will work with orders and products information, and clients information, but not necessarily with the product information. Now, on the product information, maybe there is some person that is responsible only on the inventory, somebody who makes sure that the supplier information makes it to the PIM, to the product information system. So he should be able to only to upload and make sure and verify that the stock information is being updated correctly. So in Excel, you simply cannot do this, because it's one piece of software and one piece of data sheet that doesn't allow you this. So it's very partial management.
Great. Igor, thank you so much for bringing us into the world of product information management and why it's so important for jewelry e-commerce. I encourage all of our attendees and people watching this webinar later on YouTube or other social media to reach out to us with any further question you have on the Valigara website at valigara.com. We're available, and Igor will be happy to answer any follow-up questions that you have following this webinar. Igor, thank you very much, and we'll meet you here again at Valigara's Jewelry e-commerce series, the first Tuesday of every calendar month. See you in June then.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.